I was gonna say, like, you're obviously filming this reality show, but like, aren't you just embarrassed? Like when you're sitting
I'm mortified. I'm like in wet Spanx. I'm probably gonna get a yeast infection and that's it. You know, and I'm just like, but I'm just gonna go along with it and just enjoy my evening.
and like, what do the patrons of Nashville? I mean, it's a little different in Nashville than Jersey.
Embarrassing. I'm embarrassed, and and I don't want. I'm all for some petty fights. It just escalated to a level I was not interested in.
So, we start by joking we're saying that I'm not this blogger that, I mean, where does this logic from Teresa even come from? I mean, like, this is
I'll tell you what it is. She was convinced that I was putting it out there. I was giving it light because I spoke about it. It was coming out. No one needs me to put this out there. I did put nothing out there. I don't have to put anything out there. I don't want to put it out there because as far as I was concerned, which I had said to her numerous, we wanted him to win. Everybody wants her to be happy. Stuff was out there from a year ago, last reunion. Things were coming out about him. My thing is to always get ahead of it, not to pretend it's not happening, just address it. Public opinion wasn't very positive. I was like, let's flip, if I say something, here's your opportunity. Just say how you feel, let Louis address it correctly. And this could go away in a nice way. I mean, we all know public opinion was not very positive. And I was like, let's just flip it, make it look good. A good friend is going to be concerned and ask you, you could say you're concerned. Don't say it's not happening. Don't say you didn't see it there, pretending, blaming me for it. Clearly, I was not the one doing it. There was numerous outlets that had put it out there. It is not in my best interest or Teresa or anybody's or the show's best for me to put that crap out there. I don't need to. He has enough people who wanted him dead. You know what I mean? I don't want him dead under any circumstance. Truthfully, at this point, I love him 10 times more than I love her.
I have some questions about that in a second too. Well, that's the thing. I mean, doesn't Teresa, she knows there's these lawsuits those are lawsuits. That has nothing to do with you. She knows this video exists, whether she watched it or not. Like, how could she just ignore actual lawsuits in an actual video?
Meaning that I put it out there. I didn't cause those. Just like, you know what? When my lawsuits came out those are public record. I didn't accuse any of my castmates. Even though I know someone, on my first season had put it out, I knew who was involved with that stuff, but their public record stuff comes out. I didn't want anything. I don't have time. I run a company. I don't have time I don't want to hurt him under any circumstance. And that's true. And he's much sweeter to me than she is.
Did you? Well, that says something.
At this point, he is much sweeter to me than she is.
I mean, what does he say to you? Just like, I understand, or?
I think I am going to say this after being around this. I mean, after the season finale, it's not pretty, which you guys all saw. He says some things that, I'm not too happy about. But I think after everybody sees the reunion, we come to a better place. And I think he realized, I don't know if she tainted him towards it. I don't know what it is, but he's much easier to talk to after the fact. And listen, I don't know what that's about, whatever it is. Unfortunately, Teresa, I've never met somebody who holds a grudge that long. I mean, listen, she still holds a grudge against her sister and brother, her sister-in-law and brother-in-law for coming on a show so many years ago. I don't know from that. I'm not a grudge holder.
And do you think?
And by the way, I never said one bad thing about him. She makes it like I said this. I said not one thing. I asked a question. Things kept coming out, and I literally asked a question, and that was it. And everyone makes it out like I was Cruella de Vil.
Everyone does make it out like that. Yes. Did you?
Well, only the tree huggers. I think everybody else, who's.
Well, there's a lot of tree huggers out there.
Who's people who are a little more dialed in understand.
Did you ever get annoyed at your castmates throughout the season? Like, kind of like you said, this narrative is out there. I imagine everyone's talking about this, like, but yet you are the one speaking up to Teresa. Melissa didn't want to go near that for obvious reasons.
I didn't deal with her as much, and I think I'm just forthright, and I knew. Listen, it was out there. People were talking about it. I think we would do everybody a disservice not talking about it. I mean, what, everyone's going to watch the show and be like, everyone's going to pretend everything's perfect. I think we would look like idiots.
But you never got mad, like, Dolores, speak up. Jackie, say something.
No, because Dolores would say, Margaret didn't put it out there. I mean, I think everyone voiced their concerns, not directly to Teresa. I think I say it right to her. I'm not somebody who has to beat around the bush and, talk behind her back and then never say it to her. And I think that's what got her upset.
Do you regret, like you said, she was calling you white trash? You said, thank God you're not on parole anymore.
I think that was a normal thing to say in that moment. I mean, you threw an entire table of stuff on me and you called me every name in the book. I mean, thank God she wasn't on parole.
It's a fact, yes.
Of course, someone correct me. Maybe it was probation, parole, probation. What's the difference? I don't know the difference. Thank God I don't want to know the difference.
No. I mean, do you regret anything from this particular season?
The only thing I regret is her, that Jennifer's, there was some collateral damage in her family. Nothing else.
Do you regret anything from the past 5 years you've been on Housewives?
What did I say? That was this season I regret that. Nothing else really. Maybe I shouldn't have poured water on Danielle's head, but I don't give a crap because I think she came in there looking for a physical altercation that day. And
I don't have anything in particular in my mind. I was just curious.
I think I've been very much myself. I think I'm, honest, and that's it. I mean, maybe I regret, some clothing choices.
Listen.
The pigtail extensions the first season. I mean, they had me looking like, the Queen of Narnia.
5 years is a long time. Fashions change, right?
About 5 years is just like, I made some poor choices, but that's it.
Where does Teresa rank in terms of, listen, some people come on House, listen, you haven't had it easy. Jennifer, Siggy, Danielle, Teresa, you've had your share of drama over 5 years.
I've had my share of drama, but I think I can handle it.
Where does it sounds like Teresa, like where does Teresa fall in relationship to like a Siggy or a Danielle or a Jennifer?
Teresa and I were real friends. I did care for her. I don't think she thinks we could ever make up. I mean, she said some horrible, horrible, horrible things to me at the reunion. I went in, thinking that there could be some resolve. Now it's very up in the air. I mean, it's a rough one. It's a rough one because I am not that person. I am very careful to say things that, that I can sometimes that I can come back from. I think she says some things that it's very hard to come back from.
Really? You think
what?
So like by the end of this reunion, you think she said things she can't come back from?
I think there's some things she said to me that are very, very hurtful. I have to I think there's some, she said some things to me that are really hurtful, really that are shocking.